the latest proposal from Major League Baseball that the owners approved that are now going to the players of how the season would resume, which would be 82 games. You play teams in your geographic region. So if you're in the NL East, you play teams, the rest of the teams in your division, and then you play teams in the AL East. So you're only playing teams geographically that you're close to limit travel, to limit cross-country travel and exposure, and again, try to keep everything concentrated in one area. So that is going through the plan of now, and the league, if it gets the approval and gets the A-OK, will start early July, July 4th, July 1st, somewhere in that range, and again, carry through the normal season, go through October with the playoffs, and have basically everything normal starting on July 1st or whenever the league starts. But we talked about this on Monday. The biggest holdup or the biggest question mark is going to be money. Now, it's a tough discussion when you talk about millionaires fighting billionaires for money. Essentially, if you're unaware of what the negotiations are, this is what it is. So the players signed an agreement with the owners back in March when the coronavirus first struck, when the NBA first suspended their season, and basically saying that, one, they signed a deal saying, we're going to prorate your contracts, and the players agree with that. Meaning, if you're supposed to get $10 million to play 162 games, well, you're going to get, however, we're going to divide that up, so 10 million divided by 162, and just multiply that by the amount of games you actually played. So in theory, if you're supposed to get $10 million to play a full 162, we're playing 82 games. Granted, a little bit more than half, let's just say half for math's sake, you're going to make $5 million this year. Players signed off on it. Fine. Look at the amount of money for the games that we played. No problem. Now, this is where the real issue comes in. The owners kind of had this thought in the back of their head that when the season does resume, or at some point towards the end of the year, fans will be allowed in stands, which means more revenue coming in. Well, right now, it's going to be a long shot, if not a miracle, to have fans in the stands at all in the 2020 season, which means less revenue coming in for the owners, right? No game tickets, parking, concessions, merchandise, all that is out the window. So the only revenue Major League Baseball and the owners are going to be getting in 2020 is from television. Now, it should increase because theoretically your audience is growing, so you could sell more ad space, you can sell more commercials, and do what you can. But for the most part, the only revenue coming in is going to be through television. So what the owners want now is that they want the players to take, again, another pay cut. And what that is basically having a revenue split. Now, hockey does it, football definitely does it, and the NBA does it, to where the owners and the players basically have a percentage of the revenue comes in, this is the percentage you get. NBA 50-50. So let's say they make $1 billion, $500 million goes to the owners, $500 million goes to the players, and obviously that's divided up with salary and bonuses and all that other stuff. Baseball's not like that. Their union does not do revenue sharing at all. They get their salaries. The formula is completely different than the rest of the major league sports. But now the owners are proposing this year and this year only revenue split, 50-50. So let's say everything, all things considered, we normally make $10 billion. This year, we're only going to make $4 billion. So what the owners want is, all right, we'll take that $4 billion, we'll split it up. $2 billion will go to the owners, which we'll split up by 30 owners, and the other $2 billion will go to the players, and they will split that up, based on, I guess, salary, who's supposed to make what, but essentially have $2 billion to give to the players as salary compared to what their normal salary would be, and the players are irate. You have Tony Clark, who's the Major League Baseball Players Association rep. He's their spokesman. Basically, that's a non-starter. We're not doing that. MLB can pitch it. We are not doing it. And Blake Snell yesterday highlighted really the divide and where the players stand, because he was on Twitch yesterday. And quick shameless plug, if you are on Twitch, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, it's where you can watch us if you have the app, WWSRN on iOS or Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Android. You can watch us through Twitch. Well, yesterday, Blake Snell was on Twitch discussing his thoughts, and he is all in on moving the season to 2021. We're not playing in 2020. And he was basically highlighting the reasons why he does not want to take even less pay to risk his life. And that's basically what he was saying, was that his argument from his point of view was that we're already getting less money. We're basically having our salaries reduced in half, right? Playing 82 games instead of 162, basically half a season, and you already agreed to prorate your salary, which basically means we'll take the amount of games, we'll take the salary commensurate with how many games you play. Half the season, half the pay. So you're saying, well, I'm already getting a pay cut. I'm already basically having my salary chopped in half just to step on the field this year. On top of that, now the owners want to take an extra, have the revenue share, which he threw out the number 33% of the salary. So you're going to have half your salary and then chop off another 33% of that half to risk your life, to go out on the field, possibly get sick, put your life in danger. And not to mention, too, we're just talking about coronavirus risk alone. injury risk alone. These players aren't, for the most part, most of them don't have access to fields. You can't. So the training has not been what it usually is. And even though they're going to have a 3-week spring training, it's still, it's still risky to basically, you're ramping up again, then you have a long layoff, ramping up again. Injury is definitely possible. There's regular, muscle twitch, shoulder injuries, normal baseball injuries are definitely possible. So you're saying, why am I going to take even more of a pay cut to risk not only my health in possibly catching the virus, but also, putting myself in injury risk to where, I could be, I could be damaged for 2, 3, 4 years down the road and maybe never ever live up to what I'm supposed to get financially if we just sat out this year and came back next year full throttle. And this is why it's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting because right now, in the past, the players have definitely felt burned by the owners, right? Especially when it comes to the free agent market, a lot of players feel the owners are suppressing the free agent market, suppressing wages, and really trying to do everything they possibly can to save money. And I think this sentiment runs deep with a player like Blake Snell, who just highlights the mistrust that he has between himself and the owners. So he is staunchly against resuming the league, and I have a tough time blaming him. I really can't. I can't sit here and yell at a guy he's making millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong. He's making a lot more money than me and you probably will ever make in 1 year, right? But at the same time, the fact that the players are going to try to be painted as the bad guys here is just total misstep and really not seeing the forest through the trees here. This is a joint blame game, if we're going to say. Either the baseball resumes and the players and the owners both have to sacrifice something. The players have to take some sort of pay cut. The owners also have to give more money than they initially wanted to the players because they are the ones on the field risking their lives, restarting, after having 2 months off essentially and playing the game. If that doesn't happen, guess what? We're not having baseball. And hearing Blake Snell talk, I get more and more worried, and doubts are seriously creeping in that we're going to have a baseball season in 2020. Because he's not alone. He's not a one-man, wolf here. He's not a lone wolf, I should say, in this theory. There are a lot of players thinking like this. Not trusting the owners, not taking even more of a pay cut to put themselves at risk, put their careers at risk. For what? So the billionaires can still keep their money? And that's what we're talking about here. The owners want players to take more of a pay cut so they can save money. They're not dummies. The owners became billionaires for a reason. And so now it's tough to yell at a millionaire player because I've seen this already. You have politicians even calling out players already. There's already some sentiment that's going to be basically trying to divide the owners and the players. And more often than not, we've seen in the past, fans and the general public usually side with ownership. The players making this money, making so much money already. They're so lucky playing a children's game. Just get on the field and play. I can't blame Blake Snell. I really can't. I can't blame the players. Excuse me. I have a tough time looking at the players, seeing the risk that they're. I have a tough time at least telling someone, "Go out and play. You're fine. You're making $1 million. So what? You'll be fine." We've seen the coronavirus does not discriminate. It will get anyone sick. So you take a massive, massive, massive pay cut just so the billionaires can keep their revenue coming in as close to normal as possible. I have a tough time with. And like I said, each day I have more and more doubts that the season's going to start because each day I think you'll hear more and more players digging deeper on their side and saying, listen, it's going to be on the owners. And right now the owners are going to say it's on the players. They had a talk when the owners approved the plan, approved the plan we talked about to get to the Players Association. When their first talks on Tuesday, it was going to be about money. Or we thought, I should say, it was going to be about money. Because this is the biggest divide, and this is, I think, the area that players are most in disagreement with the owners. And you heard Tony Clark say, revenue sharing is not an option. Absolutely not an option. And now they did not even talk about money in the first meeting. I think the owners realize the fight they're in, and that's what gets me nervous. I think the players are deep on their side. I think the owners are deep on their side. And it's going to be a real shame, and it's going to be very damaging to the game of baseball if some sort of agreement, some sort of sacrifice can't be worked out between the two. Because right now, we see the NBA thinking about resuming. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be tough. If the NBA can't resume, Adam Silver in 2 weeks says, it's not worth the risk. We can't do it safely. We're just going to pass, and we're going to wait till next year. So no basketball, excuse me. Hockey's going to try to resume, but still, their national audience is now what baseball is. Baseball has a chance right now, and in a time when there's nothing going on, the country is looking for a distraction. Baseball could provide that. Baseball could provide that sense of normality where we can watch the game every single day and feel like, okay, we're sort of getting back to real life. Even if we can't go to the games, fine. We'll watch games. They'll be in their home ballpark, so it'll feel normal. It'll feel real. There's a chance of normality to return here. And if baseball can't return because of a money fight between the owners and the players, both are going to be equally to blame for it. And, we talked about the strike in 1994 being damaging and really kind of having baseball lose those fringe fans. I think 2020 is going to be way more damaging and do way more irrevocable damage if they do not play. And the optics are that they could not agree on money. Millionaires were fighting with billionaires over billions of dollars, and they couldn't come to an agreement. I think MLB will lose a lot of fringe fans, and they right now have a chance to get those fans back. They have a chance to reel in a bigger audience. They have right now an audience that they really are not keen to or don't have an ability to get most times. Because right now, think about it, the NBA playoffs should be right in the heat of their battle. Same thing with the NHL playoffs. We're coming off March Madness. Baseball right now, when there's nothing else going on, when the country is thirsting, dying for some sport to watch, something to latch onto, they had that opportunity to kind of jump in and be the saving grace, let's say, to bring back some sort of normality. And they can get a lot more fans by playing the game and grow the sport 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the road. They play this season, and they are the league that returned, did it safely, and gave the country some sort of normality. If they can't, I'm very afraid. Because I'm a diehard baseball fan. I will watch till the day I die. But a lot of fringe fans, a lot of casual, sure, I'll turn the baseball game on if it's on. If there's nothing else to watch, I think those fans will be drawn in more. Could make some lifelong fans. But at the same time, you can easily chase them away if you can't haggle over $1 billion one way or another. So I'll have to get your thoughts. I mean, I think it's very telling. Really, Blake Snell's the first pitcher on the record, or should say first player on the record, to go out with these comments and basically say, listen, I'm already risking my life. I'm risking potentially getting the virus, and we still don't really know, can the virus go away? What it will do long term. There's so many unknown questions that I'm risking my life, putting my body, which I get paid for, by the way. You need your body in order to perform and play baseball. So you're putting really your moneymaker on the line during a pandemic to play the game, but he's not doing it for, he would do it sounds like for 50% for a prorated salary. He's not doing it for any more of a pay cut, just so the billionaires can keep their money. Millionaires fighting billionaires. Baseball better figure it out one way or another, and if not, both are to blame. Players are to blame, owners are to blame.